Sup? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I'm Morrow, this is Miecca. We're back with some more RPG horror stories. And you know what? I kind of forgot to eat, so my brain not working. How are you doing today?
Better than you.
Yeah.
Even though I'm sick.
Yeah, he's sick. I'm brain dead. And these are RPG horror stories, so let's go ahead and just jump into them right now. My character is an atheist. Cringy Atheist breaks my campaign. Hello there. It's not that much of a horror story, more like a short tale of cringe and heavy facepalms. A few years ago, I had an idea to run a Warhammer fantasy campaign set in a horrible French wasteland of Bretonia. For those not familiar, imagine a romantic view of Arthurian England set in a stereotypical vision of France and how the British think it would be. The campaign itself never really got into the first session due to me being a lazy POS and my regular group of players being uninterested in the half-ass setting I made. But that's just how things go. I would completely forget about the entire endeavor if not for one of the most cringiest moments I experienced as a DM. So I wanted to expand the regular group and had a new acquaintance from university. Cringy was an okay dude, and even after this story I had a few bumps with him, where we usually had an okay time chatting and memeing. Nothing wrong with the guy, but he could be a gigantic cringe lord from time to time. But hey, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone.
Let him be the first to cast a stone. He's not even getting the quote right.
Isn't that getting the quote right? I don't know. I don't think I can look at scripture. Pretty sure I'll just burn. Oh, you okay? You fine?
That
You're
would
an
be hilarious to watch.
I can't.
That would be hilarious to watch.
I'd burn. I'd be scorched alive. So on to the story. During our regular short chats with Cringy, he mentioned playing D&D before, but his friend group dispersed after a few sessions. To that I said, if you're lucky. Though I didn't run D&D, but I told him about my plan to run a Warhammer Fantasy short campaign and asked him if he was interested to try out a different system. He said okay, and after both of us got home, we jumped into Discord to have an unofficial session 0. Started to explain the Warhammer world, mainly focusing on the main setting. He was usually silent during all of this, sometimes asking a few questions, but he was okay. When I finished, I asked him if he was still interested in it, which he said, I want to bring a character who is not a believer. I tried to explain to him that it's not really an option since the gods in Warhammer usually interfere with mortal affairs. Some countries are even being either directly advised or even ruled by living gods. Warhammer Fantasy has like actual living gods as like avatars walking around or just running around the whole place. It's wild. It's kind of cool. Honestly,
literally, some races even summon them into the battlefield.
They do.
Like, straight out. Summon gods into the battlefield.
It is wild. It is crazy. The Warhammer Fantasy universe is pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Oh, it's lovely.
Miecca here loves the Warhammer universe. Warhammer 40k, Warhammer Fantasy, anything 40K. Warhammer.
Give me that Warhammer lore. I'll sit there and eat it for hours and hours and hours. How many hours have I struck you? Sometimes you just ask for a simple explanation and it's like, I can give you the explanation or I can give you a tip.
Dude, this guy's like a glossary of Warhammer 40k lore. I love it. It's amazing. If I have a question about something, he has answers for me. I don't have to look it up. My Wikipedia is right here. I don't buy it. What? I think you just want to set me up, and the gods later will turn out to be just, I don't know, evil wizards who pretend to be gods to steal money from people. Huh? Oh, sorry, did I ruin your big reveal? Still can't forget the amount of smugness in his voice when he said that. Although I thought he was either joking or I was the one who explained the setting wrong. I've tried to explain again, constantly asking him if my explanation is understandable for him. Oh, you don't need to pretend that I didn't foresaw your big reveal. I'm just too smart for that. What is this guy on about?
Oh my god, he is...
I could kind of see how, like, yeah, one of the gods could indeed be just a wizard head that just tried to steal people's money, sure. But, like, where is he pulling this out from? I have no idea. What is he referencing?
He thinks he's clever. My guess is he's never seen or heard of anything about the Warhammer lore and doesn't understand that they are literal gods or demigods that exist in the world. And he thinks that it's just... you know, somebody pulling the whole Wizard of Oz thing, like, oh, he's not really a big magical wizard, he's just some dude behind a curtain speaking through a microphone. That's what I'm guessing this Cringy thinks that's what Warhammer is. I'm guessing Cringy thinks that's what it is. I can see why.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense now. That makes sense. But it sounds kind of stupid, too. It's kind of like prejudging things ahead of time, right? Be like, ooh, suddenly it's going to be just a Wizard of Oz thing. But no, Warhammer has actual gods that'll walk around and kick an ass and stuff. Why is he doing that? It's so, like, unwarranted. It's not like, you know, DM's trying to pull a gotcha. They're just like, so this is the Warhammer lore. And he's like, aha, you trying to pull a gotcha on me. You won't fool me. I am just too smart and too extra cool, and I know all your tricks. Maybe he actually got robbed by a wizard. What if actually Cringy, he got robbed by like I don't know, a Catholic wizard or something that stole his money. He got scammed. And now that's his trauma. An evil wizard scammed him out of money, and now he's just mad about that. He just seems so unwarranted. At this point, I realized he isn't joking, and I just got irritated by his unapologetic smugness. I had a brief thought for a moment. Having to deal with problem players before and after gave me every reason to think that this behavior is not a good sign, and I didn't really have the mental capacity to deal with that. So I just told him he was right, that he is too smart for me, and since he already saw my big reveal at the end of the campaign, that I can't help it. I told him that he won the campaign. Because of it, maybe we should just not come. We partied in a civilized way and still talking occasionally, but I never invited him to play with us ever again. Like, I get it. Sometimes you'll go into media and, like, something looks stupid and you go honestly question it. Like, when I first played Destiny, I questioned a lot, like, why is this done like this instead of like this? Or, why is this like that, but they should have done like this? But, like, at some point, like, if you just question it continuously over and over, you're never going to get into it because you go into it with, like, an antagonistic mindset. Sometimes it's just fine to just not think too hard and just experience in the moment. If you like it, you like it. If you dislike it, you dislike it, and it's fine. Nothing's wrong with it. Nobody's trying to get this guy to think, like, you know, to believe in gods. Just saying this fiction. It's fictional gods in this universe. That's what they have. I mean, D&D 5e has gods and stuff, but I mean, it really depends up to the DM how influentially important they are. Some could be super important for a really cool, like, narrative reason, but some aren't whatsoever. Nobody even brings them up except a few lines of dialogue here and there. It really depends on the game.
I mean, our characters, they didn't really have gods they worshipped, and the DMs were fine with that. I mean, they tried to kind of be like, hey, you know, what's your gods? And we'd be like, hey, don't ask Morrow and Miecca. They don't know. They're just kind of existing at this point. But you're tiefling and you're an Asmar. You're literally like a short of a demon spawn, and you're literally short of an angel. I don't know, man. I just live to scam people.
I just want bread, dude. Yeah, I just want to be able to earn bread today.
Yeah,
I don't care about gods.
We're just here to earn bread.
The player who is weirdly afraid of being hit and also awful at power gaming. This is about a player I knew during my college days who I'll call Mike. He never did anything egregious like cheating or trying to essay other characters, but it was a slow buildup of whining and low-grade dickishness. The first time I met Mike was at level 20 one-shot, which was a bunch of strong monsters, one after another, finishing with a Tarrasque. This is the first meeting of a college D&D club. Mike introduces his character, a multi-class Ranger Warlock Aarakocra. He would use his character pretty much whenever he would, changing only the level for each campaign. All dialogue is paraphrased. Mike spends the first couple of turns dashing upward until he is 599 feet in the air. Then he starts making attack rolls. I use my bow to attack the dragon. Why are you rolling disadvantage? Did you take the sharpshooter feat? I needed to max con and take the toughest feat. You going to make every attack a disadvantage? It's worth it to be at maximum range, or you could just fly 120 feet and just do regular. Is he afraid of getting hit? He has a chunky health, like Max Con has a toughness feat, which adds even more chunkiness to your health.
He is afraid of being hit.
But like, even if you have that much of a con, if you have a lot of health, you just stay at like 120 feet and just long range it. It's fine. It's okay. You don't have to go 600 feet. It's unnecessary. Why? For some reason, he insisted on being able to spam both Eldritch Blast and arrows at range, focusing on two things, plus his insistence on maxing hit points and disadvantage in every roll. He did very little damage. Now, if it sounds like I'm just crapping another player build, he would also alternate between boasting about his character and insisting he is being targeted if the DM directed any attack at him. Oh
my god.
I mean, if you were there and the enemy is next to you and they go, target, I'm gonna attack you, that's a normal thing. That's a normal behavior. And sometimes, especially if you're up in the air and you have somebody that can shoot at range and they just, look up, they can see you and they can just start firing bows or spells at you because you're up in the air, raining hellfire on them.
Oh my god, he's a COD player. Kill to death ratio. He's doing it, and instead he's gonna probably be doing it like damage to hit points. Oh my gosh.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh my gosh.
Like, if you get hurt, just drink a health potion, man. They're like 50 gold. So we beat the Tarrasque. Damage is tallied up. Mike did the least damage in the party by far, but didn't take a single hit. Probably because the DM didn't want to chase him. Your characters are useless. I could have soloed that. Your character did the least damage. Damage ratio to damage taken is what matters. Oh my god, you're right. He is a Call of Duty player. Damage ratio to damage taken. Oh my god.
Dude, I bet you he's the kind of player that finds the way to cheese a boss, and even if he's doing 1 hit point of damage and it takes him like 3 hours to kill the boss, he still sits there and be like, oh, I did that! I am the greatest!
He has high endurance. That is so funny. Underdark is like huge, right? Massive, right? So he's like climbing, like everybody's here, right? And he's like climbing along the wall this way, upside down, pulling it away from like 600 miles, dude. This is insane. He gets hit by a single crossbow bolt while the paladin is bleeding out on the floor. Targeting! Oh my god, how can he be somebody like that? How can he be like a player like that that just goes like immediately when the DM attacks you, targeting? Like there is moments where sometimes DMs do target and sometimes it can be extremely obvious, but this guy just literally just a drow used a crossbow bolt to just blink away the one that's really far away, extremely far away, mind you. You got hit by what, 1d10 damage, whatever level you are. I think you're fine. I think you'll be just fine with 1 crossbow bolt hitting you. A few will be fine. Drow sinks up behind him, using its own spot to climb. You bullying me at the DM. Oh my god.
This is a child. This is a baby playing a campaign.
Now,
oh my lord.
We don't want to be like hurtful to Mike. Mike is probably like a well-intentioned player, probably had like a really bad experience or something. I don't know.
I'm not here to be sensitive.
Maybe he was targeted before, maybe there's a specific reason, or he was just bullied and now he thinks that D&D is a kind of game where he will be getting targeted and stuff, or he just crying wolf, which kind of looks like here.
He got hit once by an arrow.
Yeah, he
once,
did.
And he's calling targeting.
He's crying wolf. He's crying wolf here, and this is unnecessary. He shouldn't be doing this. It's fine to take one single crossbow bolt. It's fine if enemies can do the same thing that you can do. And because guess what? Enemies have spells and weapons, and some of them actually think and use tactics. Whoa! Eventually the players are trying to cross this giant chasm filled with spiderwebs. While finding a beholder variant, and it uses a paralysis ray on Mike. He fails a save and falls into some spiderwebs. Mike starts whining about it for a minute. When he realizes the DM won't take it back, he gets up, knocks over the DM screen, and storms out. This was the last I saw of him for about a year. Later, I'm DMing my own campaign set in Cult. Some of the players really like Mike for some reason and ask me to include him. He insists on his usual build. There's a bunch of minor incidents, like him not being able to see through a jungle canopy 600 feet up at night. The players reach a midpoint boss. It's a demon snake man who is fire immune and a sorcerer. The players have had a skirmish with him before and think his most powerful spell is Lightning Bolt. Mike: he has a 100-foot range of his spell and his movement is 30 feet. I fly 140 feet away and attack. I notice you've put your character over the lava pit in the center of the map. Too bad, he can't do anything. Distant spell magic plus upcast sleep. Okay, now that's kind of funny. Now that's targeting though. That's targeting.
No, not really. That's taking advantage of the situation. Mike put himself over the lava pit. He did that. That's where the enemy can look at it and be like, okay, what is the most advantageous thing I can do?
Okay, yeah, but like, that's just funny. It's just funny. Maybe it's not targeting, but boy, is it funny.
That is,
He's
that's
gonna get
honestly
so upset. Mike is gonna get
hilarious.
so upset he's gonna throw the whole table, dude. He yelled at me and stormed out. That was the last I saw of him in person. I didn't get a chance to roll for anything. I wasn't even planning on killing his character. Would have been a jailbreak plot next session. Cut to another year later, open the university newspaper and see his picture. He's head of the university's conservative student club and got a prestigious job as an aide in a congressman's office. I've since not heard from him, but who knows? I'm gonna play D&D with a future senator. Imagine if he's like doing something like, I don't know, in like his job or something, and somebody disagrees with him, he's gonna just start throwing things to you. Christ.
Targeting!
I disagree with your points on this issue. Targeting!
You just hate me because I'm Mike! He goes running out of the debate room being like, you can't argue with me if I'm outside! And just continues to
You can't
run.
debate me if I'm outside of your debate range. And that'll be all our RPG horror stories for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you like what you see here and you like us bantering about these RPG horror stories, consider subscribing for more videos and leave a like if you don't mind. That really help a lot. Thanks so much for watching and we'll see you next video.
Bye.